My name is Tony Simon, aka Blockhead. I'm from New York City, New York, USA. I am 39 years old at the moment, and I am a agnostic slash atheist slash I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. I started first rapping before I did anything. Probably when I was in my early teens, I started writing raps. When I turned about 18, I got a sampler, and I realized that I was way better off as a producer than as a rapper. So I kind of tapered down the rapping over the next like 5 or 6 years, and then focused heavily on beats. When people ask me what I call it, I basically just call it instrumental hip hop. I think it's in reality it's more than that, because while it is like a sample based hip hop music, typical instrumental hip hop is not as intricate or as song. It's not really it's not in song form. It's just like a loop, maybe one change up, some scratching. Whereas my songs actually kind of go all sorts of directions and have many layers. But you know, in its core, it's hip hop and it's instrumental, so it's instrumental hip hop. I use an ASR10 sampler, and I started using that, and I've used it a lot less now. But I use Ableton mostly now. I use a Moog keyboard, but mostly just Ableton, and I sample other people's music and make music out of that. Okay, well, my dad was a painter and a sculptor. He was a career artist. He was a painter in World War II. He has done fountains in different places. He's done sculptures. He did all sorts of stuff. And yeah, his name is Sidney Simon. He passed away in '97, and he was 80 at that point because he was 60 when I was born. And so yeah, he was an artist, and I pretty much grew up around that in the artistic world, not in the fine art world, not the musical art world. But it's, you know, same thing really, same pitfalls. My relationship with him was kind of distant because he was 75% deaf for the majority of my life. So really it was more of an admiration thing than it was like a close father thing. He would just go to work. He'd just go downstairs, work on art all day, come upstairs, and then hang out. But the fact of the matter is, like, you know, he was way older. He was deaf, so it was really more of an example than he was a figure of authority or a figure of anything like that. But by seeing what he did, it kind of made me feel that art, any kind of art, was a plausible outcome for your career. Whereas I think, like, as a grown-up now, I can look back on that and be like, well, that's not really a realistic way to think. But I'm glad I thought that, because otherwise I might be, working in an office or something. The way I do stuff nowadays, it's changed over the years. But the way I do stuff is like I just make beats. I just keep making beats. I make a lot of beats. I just try to be prolific over a period of time, and then when it's time to make an album, I sit and I go through these beats and be like, well, what can work in the form of an instrumental album? And once I pick like maybe 25 to 30 of those beats, and then group them together of what ones might work together, and then those become songs. So like a lot of my songs in the last 3 albums are really the compilation of 3 separate beats that were made at different times, just kind of put together into one like meandering story, as opposed to like one beat that has a couple changes and then keeps coming back to the same thing. But yeah, I never sit down and be like, well, I'm gonna make an instrumental record beat now, and I'm gonna make a rap beat now. I just kind of sit down, make the beat, and then after the fact, it's like, well, that sounds like this, or that sounds like this.